Okay, we're back to part 2 of this grind. We're coming up on like about 45 seconds of being at 25 minutes and grinding this white. We're going to check the grind. I have here a grind bar from Vic. We're going to check and see if our grind is where it needs to be, and then we're going to continue on, and now we're going to actually add the coal solvent package to take this product into a state where the film is where it's supposed to be. So we have this. Let me get a doesn't take much. You just put a drop right here and another drop right there. Take your drawdown bar. And there you have it. I have to stop that. Now let's take a look at it, see what we have. Here, you can look at it with me. Let's see, how do we turn this thing? Right here, I think. Maybe right there, you can kind of see it. And it is definitely ground. There's a number 7 right here, and that's what we want it as fine as. And you can see on both sides, both tracks, it's just perfect. So that's good. We're going to clean these up a minute. Okay, so we've got the tools cleaned up there. We're going to turn this down. There's 1,000. But we're going to do a real quick drawdown to see what this looks like on a drawdown. Okay, as suspected, there's a lot of foam in it. Of course, it's been cranking away at 2,000 RPM too. Now let's add our co-solvent package. Okay, here this is a little different. We're gonna, let's start here. Guess I need to uncover my scale. And we don't need very much of this particular solvent. In fact, it is so little. It's this much right there. Whoops. And then we've got another solvent that we're using. It's this one, and this one takes a little bit more. So we can takes about that much. And now we need some water. 42 should go in there. H2O jug. I actually buy all these solvents in larger containers, and I just put them in these small ones so I can work with them easier. Should all fit in here, just like that. But now we're going to move them over to a different little mixer. You notice that, I don't know if you can see that or not, it wasn't completely clear, and that's because the two solvents are interacting with each other. So what we're doing is we're mixing them together, and then they should become of a consistent color, a clear color in particular. We'll just give this a short period of time. It doesn't take very much. Okay, that should do it. So it's cleared up, mixed up here. Now we're going to just add this straight into here. Now at this point, we are going to let this one mix a little while. We're going to put it 4 minutes on the clock, and we'll be right back. Okay, time's up on this one. Let's go ahead and do a drawdown. Whoops, kind of thin, but we're going to kind of show it to you. Still got a little foam in it. And since it's a little thin, I think what we're going to do is we're going to add a rheology modifier to it. This one in particular, and not very much, just a dab. We just want to thicken it up a little bit. There we go. Let that mix for just a minute or so. You can tell it already starting to work. So we'll put that on while we get the next ingredient ready. Now we need a defoamer, and here's the one we're going to use. Let's get this foam knocked out of here. I'm going to get something ready first real quick. I about need to get me a new drawdown bar. That one's wore out. Let's see. Not very much. Yeah, it's pretty easy to tell the viscosity is already rose. Okay, it still has foam in it, so we're going to go ahead and get rid of that foam right here. Then we'll get to that drawdown. I'm going to let it set up a little bit. Okay, the foamer we're going to let mix in for 5 minutes. Okay, while we count this down, let's take a look at this drawdown we just did. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try and show you something in here. This spot right there is microfoam. And microfoam is little bitty clumps of bubbles. So this defoamer we just put in, hopefully takes that away. Well, I guess we'll find out. Here we go. Now this is the first time I've made this formulation in this sequence. So we'll see. There's some foam a little bit, but it's popping. This is what this drawdown should look like. I try and get it to where you can see it, but that's kind of hard, I guess. It has a couple little dots in it, but we're not done yet anyhow. So, okay, we got rid of the foam. That's what we wanted. Let's keep going down our formula. Next comes in. Oh yeah, this is a surface modifier. It's actually it's a product that is for surface tension release. So you release the surface tension so everything flows out really nice and pretty. It already has, but we're going to make it look a little better. And it doesn't take very much. So let's take, it takes a half a gram. A drop goes a long ways. A drop in the bucket. Okay, we're going to let that one mix. But we're not going to wait. We're going to go ahead and add the next one. This next one is a type of a wax. It's like a paraffin wax. And what it does is it gives you a soft feel on your product at the end. It's just nice and smooth and silky kind of. And this one we get 3. There is 3 grams right there. Okay, now these 2 that we've just now stuck in there, we need to let mix again. We're going to go with right at 4.5 minutes. Get that started, and then I'll clean these up and we'll come back and finish up. Okay, as we come up on just a few seconds left, if you'll recall, we added the surface modifier, and we're going to put a drawdown on that right here in just a second. Okay, let's see what this one looks like. Well, actually, I think this was the one that is a paraffin wax, type of a wax that we put in. Helps in the water resistance and the feel, the soft feel. Looks real good. I don't see any kind of surface defects, which of course that's not what we want, so. I'll give you an idea right there. Nice. It's all coming together. Looks like this formulation has merits. Okay, so let's finish it off, and how we finish it off is we're going to put a biocide in here so you don't have any mold or any of that kind of jazz grow in the film. We get half a gram. So again, we're going to go back to a real small syringe. Okay, there's a half there. And the next one we're going to put in there is actually, it's a replacement for an ethanolamine, and it adjusts the pH. We use something called AMP 95. So it keeps the pH in between 7.5 and 8, which is a good pH to have film formation for this particular resin system. Same thing, half a gram. Let's clean that out. Let's get us a half gram out of here. There's a half a gram. And except for adjusting the viscosity, we are done. Let's let this mix for 2 minutes. And I want to show you a couple things as we're going along. Let me, you'll remember when we first started in the first video, because this has turned into a 2-part series, we added the 2 resins together first. And I'm not sure if you can see that, about right there it looks like. It is shattered. The film is completely shattered. Trying to figure out my directions right there. Which is normal, because what that means is neither of these are a film former or a self-film forming product, and they require a coalescing agent. And it wasn't until about right here, I believe. This is where we added the coalescing age. It's not quite dry yet, but it's drying out, and this is where it formed the film. There we go. So that's what it takes to make these polymers react. The grind phase and some of the other phases that we have going on are all just additives to do one thing or another, and it can be from flow to control to field to sheen to whatever, and that's what all these are. There's actually, yeah, that's what I thought. There's 15 ingredients in this particular product. We have not added the last one just yet, because the very last one is to adjust the viscosity. So what we want to do is we want to find out what the viscosity of this is right now. So to do that, let me go grab a tool and we'll just do it right now. We're going to get something called a number 3 Zahn cup. And we're going to use this to measure what the time is. The specification calls for 35 seconds in a number 2 or number 3 Zahn cup. So we have the number 3 Zahn cup. We're going to shut this off. We're going to actually move it out of the way. Hold on just a second. Okay. I'm going to take this Zahn cup that I don't unlock it from its lock here in my little safety wire. And we're going to fill it up with liquid. So it's full. Push start, and then measure how long it takes to come out. Well, okay, it's at 20 seconds right now. The standard is 35, so we are definitely going to add rheology modifier to it. Let's drop this back down in here. And my initial calculation was for a half a gram of this particular product right here, which is a rheology modifier. So this one we're going to do, I'll just go back to the same syringe, it's clean. Water out of it. Okay, now this we have to give it some time to thicken up. So we've got 5 minutes on the clock for this one, and then we'll be done. Okay, as this comes to a close, with about 10 seconds left, we're going to go ahead and measure the viscosity one more time and check, see if we're in spec. We're going to do another drawdown. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do the drawdown. It still continues to fascinate me on how this synergistic reaction between these chemicals takes place and does what it does. Kind of a weenie drawdown there, but it's done. It looks good. Okay, now let's shut this, well, let's raise this up to get the blade clean a little bit. And this is a cow's blade that we've been using underneath here. Right here. Get that cleaned up pretty quick right here. Now we're going to measure viscosity one more time. Let's see what we end up with. I have 2 seconds getting it out of there, so there's 15. 20. 30. Okay, we have overshot the mark right here. So we know we'll have to back off on the rheology modifier. And there is 44 seconds. Okay, so what we would do here is we'd thin it down, but I want to see if it changes overnight. Shouldn't have filled that back up. So I'm going to pour it up like it is. The best thing about what I'm already seeing is that the process that we're doing does work. We're going to see if we have a, oops, here it is, a nice clean product right here. So we'll use a little bit of a strainer. See if it'll even go through it. Here we go. Some of you may wonder why I don't wear any gloves. Sometimes I do. If it's black in particular, I hate black. It gets all over everything. And I wear gloves there, but this is all environmentally friendly. None of this is toxic or harmful or volatile, hazardous air pollutant. VOCs on the product is less than 100 grams per liter. So I mean, it's a safe product, and there you'll find virtually nothing in the screen. So we got a good clean product going on here. Let's get some lids on. We're going to call this, well, it's a modified 235, so I don't know what we're going to call it, but we'll start with that and we'll go from there. Thank you.